Dangote Refinery presents first petrol sample. And foreign 11 people die as school bus plows into crowd in China. And in sports, Uruguay striker Luis Suarez announces retirement from international football. And now the details. I am Mike James. Badagry residents have received various rewards like food items, cash, free transport vouchers, health insurance admission, and more from the Legacy Government's new Circular Economy initiative aimed at boosting sustainable development practices in the state. According to the Special Advisor on Climate Change and a Circular Economy, Titilayo Oshudi, Eco-Circulate is a waste valorization, data aggregation, and circular education program used to enlighten and teach the community about the value around waste recycling, reusing, and reducing. Oshodi said every community needs to understand that effective and responsible management of waste will affect their health and productivity, financial capability, and improve their overall quality of life. The Special Advisor said her office partnered with other government agencies like Lagos Wealth Management Authority, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Lagos State Resident Registration, LASRA, Ibile Oil and Gas Corporation, IOGC, and some private entities who are already into the waste to wealth business to ensure that the aggregate measures of reward meet the waste collected at the designated centers. In his remark, the Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Rural Development, Bolaji Roberts, urged residents to take full advantage of the initiative. All is now set for the 2024 edition of the National Women's Conference in Lagos State, organized by the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials Council. Speaking at a pre-event news conference at the Lagos House, Ikeja, wife of Lagos State Governor and chairperson of Council, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, stated that the 24th edition of the National Women's Conference will hold next week. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu, who hinted that governors of Akwa Ibom, Osun, and Nasarawa State will grace the 2 days event, expressed the hope that the conference will positively impact, empower, and encourage women to soar beyond boundaries and enrich communities while bringing out the best in them.
It is pertinent to note that the annual conference, which has been consistent, inspiring, and improved upon over the years, has earned a remarkable reputation and assumed the status of a purpose-driven conference through which lives of thousands of women are positively impacted. The objective of the conference has not changed. NWC is to frontally address various challenges facing women, empowering and supporting them in becoming independent and realizing their full potentials.
Mrs. Sanwo-Olu noted that the conference, which will be streamed live with 3,000 physical participants and 1,500 virtual participants, with various activities and topics for discussions on communicable diseases, challenging gender stereotypes, among others. Chairperson Council's Planning Committee for 2024 National Women's Conference, Olufunke Adeyeye, said the briefing was aimed at raising awareness about the annual program to explore how participants can identify collective efforts to drive a positive change, break barriers for Nigeria to thrive. In a vote of thanks, wife of the Deputy Governor and Vice Chairman Council Oluremi Hamzat, who expressed gratitude to God and stakeholders, assured that the National Women's Conference promises to be a very robust experience, knowledge-inspiring as well as impactful. This year's National Women's Conference is with the theme Soar Beyond Boundaries and Reach Communities. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has refuted claims made by some higher national diploma HND graduates that it is responsible for their inability to participate in the National Youth Service Corps NYSC scheme. JAMB spokesperson Fabian Benjamin cited Section 5, Subsection 2 of its establishing law, which explicitly states that JAMB is not responsible for examinations or selection processes for postgraduate courses or other tertiary institution programs. Benjamin explained that some students were admitted to national diploma programs without its knowledge, and it only condoned and endorsed those admissions. to the rest of the stories. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has presented a first sample of premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol. Dangote made this presentation today in a broadcast at his refinery situated in the Bejuleki area of Lagos State. The 650,000 capacity refinery engaged in a test run of the product. Meanwhile, the federal government has denied a report suggesting that the Ministry of Petroleum Resources ordered the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited to sell fuel at 1,000 naira above the approved pump price. The report claimed that the Minister for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Lukubiri, gave the directive, dismissing the report in a statement signed by the Special Advisor, Media and Communication to Lukubiri, Nemeka Okafor. The federal government declared that the report was connoted and ill-conceived to sow discord and confusion in the oil industry. The statement stressed that there was never a time the government interfered with petroleum pricing with NNPCL, let alone give directives for price increment. The federal government has predicted heavy rains in 22 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The two predictions were issued separately by the National Flood Early Warning System Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment. According to the ministry, due to the rise in the water level of River Niger, communities downstream of Jebba are advised to evacuate, urging relevant stakeholders to take note. Also, the National Emergency Management Agency said the fatalities caused by severe flooding in Nigeria rose to 192 across 29 states due to unprecedented rainfall and the rise in Niger and Benue rivers. And over to some foreign news. A school bus has plowed into a crowd, killing at least 11 people, including 5 students in China's Shandong province. Several others were injured, including one who is in critical condition. The bus appears to have rammed into the student and parents as they were standing outside the gates of a school in Taiyuan City. According to a report, the driver lost control of the vehicle and was taken into custody as police investigate the cause of the incident. It isn't clear if the incident was intentional. And over to sports news. Uruguay and Inter Miami striker Luis Suarez has announced his retirement from international football at the age of 37. Suarez, who made the announcement through tears, said his final game with Uruguay will be the 2026 World Cup qualifying game against Paraguay on Friday. Suarez is Uruguay's all-time top scorer with 69 goals in 142 appearances across an international career spanning 14 years. The former Liverpool, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid striker last played for his country in the 2024 Copa America third-place playoff against Canada in July. That was our news at 12, but just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, Loma launched the Lagos State Blue Box Recycling Initiative? Well, you can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Badagry residents have received various rewards like food items, cash, free transport vouchers, health insurance admission, and more from the Lagos State Government's new Circular Economy Initiative aimed at boosting sustainable development practices in the state. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has presented a first sample of premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol. We also told you that a school bus has plowed into a crowd, killing at least 11 people, including 5 students in China's Shandong province. In sports, Uruguay and Inter Miami striker Luis Suarez has announced his retirement from international football at the age of 37. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Aderayodu Olaya. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Beautiful afternoon to you, Lagos.